Does anybody remember the show, Boohbah, that show made by the same creators of Teletubbies? I honestly enjoyed it when I was little on ABC Kids. In fact, I am a fan of the show. I thought it was similar to Teletubbies, so that's how I got into it. However, one lost episode exists. It just haunts me whenever I mind my own business. It was a sunny day, and I was sitting at a table having a sandwich. After having it, I thought I might find another missing DVD buried around my yard. I grabbed my dad's metal detector and it alerted me once I hovered it near my cat's shed. I grabbed a shovel and beneath the ground was another cardboard box. I took the box in and opened it up with scissors. Inside the box was a Boohbah DVD. It was Pearly Shells and More Boohbah Magic. I was surprised to find a rare DVD nobody knew of, so I decided to watch it. Before I put the DVD in, I noticed a very unnerving episode title for a preschooler's show, Guns. Why would they use a very mature episode title for a show for children aged 0 to 5? However, I reassured myself the episode would just have toy guns. When my parents came home, my mom approved of me finding the DVD. On one rainy day, my parents were at work and my older sister was spending time with her best friend. At that moment, I realized I should watch the new DVD I found. I inserted the DVD and the warning screen, ABC DVD ident and ABC for Kids ident were normal. It then took me to the menu. It consisted of the Boohbahs in a pink background of the Boo Zone. The 4 episodes on the DVD were Pearly Shells, Fairground Thing, Heavy Suitcase and Guns. I hit play all and I enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Oh boy, the last episode was entirely messed up. After watching the first 3 episodes, there was a warning. This episode demands parents to prohibit their children from seeing this episode as it contains graphic imagery, disturbing content and sudden sounds. Viewer discretion is advised. This is bad. I told myself. I saw the lost episode for Teletubbies and I couldn't stop thinking about it. The episode started with the intro. However, the sky was all blood red. Also, the child narrator said in a demonic monotone, "What is going on?" I said, worrying for a bit. At that moment, the Boohbah emerged behind the ocean. It even flew towards 2 children from the UK. Instead of looking afraid of the blood-red sky, they were still excited to see the Boohbah. The Boohbah then flew to Australia, but the Australian children also didn't mind the blood-red sky. After departing Sydney, the Boohbah landed in a green hill. But for some reason, blood splattered as it did. I gasped. What the hell just happened? I said to myself. All of the white in the Boo Zone was all red, supposedly meant to represent blood. I was starting to feel very uneasy and nauseous. But I carried on with the episode. It then zoomed into the Boohbah and showed the Boohbahs sleeping in their pods. Everything was normal. After the Boohbahs went to the dance zone as they ran around, the child narrator mentioned,
Hingba.
I was confused. Who is this Hingba? I wondered. Just then, a green Boohbah flew into the shot, ran up to the screen and stared at the camera. I'm guessing this is Hingba. I told myself. Hingba stared at the screen uncomfortably. I got chills down my spine. Just then, Hingba then walked away from the camera and performed one of the warm-up dances, twirly Boohbah hops. The 5 Boohbahs joined Hingba. As soon as the Boohbahs danced too fast, the rainbow wave washed in front of them. However, after the rainbow wave disappeared, the background of the Boo Zone was all dark red. The 6 Boohbahs then sucked their heads in and flew into the sky. However, Hingba, on the other hand, didn't join the Boohbahs to fly into the Boohbah, they just flew straight up high into the sky. I carried on onto the present giving segment. The children delivered the present as normal. The present was in a medium size, but not too big. When the present went up into the Boohbah, the present was, Mother of God, a gun. Just then, the child narrator read the story people's names as normal and it cut to the story world segment. The gun then was put on the grass on the fields. Just then, the Somebody's Coming theme played, but it was in reverse.
Somebody's coming.
The narrator said.
It's a gun.
The story world narrator said. Just then, brother and sister appeared on opposite sides. They then noticed the guns. Brother then picked up the gun and examined it. He was confused about what it is. He tried using the gun for what it is meant to do. But just then, he pulled the trigger and shot it into a distance, narrowly avoiding sister. Brother seemed interested in the gun and thought it might be a toy. Sister was disappointed, she didn't have a gun.
Sister doesn't have a gun,
said the narrator. At that moment,
Boohbah,
said the child narrator, once the screen froze. There was a sound of a child blowing, and sister was given a gun. Sister was glad she was given a gun. She even decided to try it out as well. Sister then pointed the gun to brother's leg, trying to check how the gun works. However, she suddenly pulled the trigger and shot it straight into brother's leg. Brother then fell to the ground and held his injured leg in pain.
Ow! What was that for, sister?
Brother said. I was quite surprised to hear one of the store people speak. Normally, there are sound effects for the store people depending on what their emotions are, but we finally get to hear them speak for the first time.
Oh my god! I'm so sorry, brother.
Sister shouted in horror.
I would never hurt my own brother. We have to get rid of those things. They're too dangerous to be kept.
Brother advised. Brother and sister tried stopping on the guns, but suddenly, brother's gun was pointing diagonally up towards sister, and he accidentally shot sister without once he stopped on it. Sister held her chest in pain. Once she moved her hand away, there was a small wound. Oh my god! I croaked. I was shocked to see a realistic wound on a character from a children's television series. Sister then collapsed to the ground, losing her breath.
Sister! Oh.
Brother screamed. Brother then held his now deceased sister in his arms and cried softly. In fact, his sobbing sounded very real. It didn't sound very comical unlike usual cartoons.
Brother is now depressed.
The narrator moaned. Brother continued crying. He never wanted to hurt or harm his sister, even by accident, but he realized the one thing to avenge his sister is meet her in the afterlife. Brother, still in tears, picked up sister's gun and pointed it to his face.
I'm sorry.
Brother said. He pulled the trigger and he finally shot himself.
Goodbye.
The narrator said. Before we cut to the final Boohbah segment, the children were crying other than laughing, obviously because the story world segment was very depressing and off the scale. It finally cut to the Boohbahs again, with the sixth member. This time, Boohbah is leading the dance. They were dancing commonly in the middle, while the Boohbahs followed them. Boohbah performed lots of similar dances, like twirly Boohbah hops, lift your feet to the beat, be ready for lots of bouncing, stop and go and more. However, as soon as the dance was almost over, Boohbah walked towards Zumba. Zumba got concerned about what Boohbah was going to do to them. At that moment, Boohbah pulled out a hatchet and threw it in Zumba's forehead. Zumba screeched as they slowly died. Humba, Zing Zing Zingba, Jumba and Jingba stared in shock seeing their friend die. Boohbah then slowly turned to the four Boohbahs, as their eyes turned red. The four Boohbahs ran away from Boohbah, who turned out to be a hypocritical Boohbah exterminator. Jingba flew into the sky, and Boohbah followed them. Boohbah gained onto Jingba, until the former grabbed the latter by the legs. Boohbah summoned a knife and stabbed Jingba in the back of the leg, killing the latter. Jingba fell to their doom as the knife was stuck to the back of their leg. Zing Zing Zingba ran to the present giving area to hide. They hid behind one of the large orbs. At that moment, Boohbah teleported in front of Zing Zing Zingba. The former then pulled out a blaster and disintegrated the latter. Humba was trying to break through the walls of the Boo Zone to escape and find a safer place to live, but Boohbah suddenly flew up to them and used a flamethrower on them to burn them alive. Humba now has soot all over them and they fell to the ground, dying. Jumba was the last Boohbah remaining. They had the best hiding place, which is hiding behind the largest orb they could find. Just then, Boohbah teleported in front of them and held them in the air by the throat. Boohbah finally spoke, unlike any of the main Boohbahs.
You guys Boohbahs mean nothing to me. I was hired by the Planet Eliminator to exterminate you. I am sorry. but things must be the way they have to be. Good riddance.
Hingba's eyes glowed red and white, and they used heat vision on Jumba's eyes. Hingba then let go of the now dead Jumba, leaving them to drop on the ground. All of the Boohbahs had died. Why would Hingba kill such innocent creatures? Just then, the rainbow wave then washed over Hingba, and the same child narrator saying, came back. I got chills again. Hingba then flew into the Boohbah and hijacked it. As soon as the energy came back in the Boohbah, it flew high into the sky, leaving a rainbow trail. The credits then played as normal, but there was no music, just the sound of the ocean. I felt very unnerved. I gritted my teeth in concern. After the credits, the Ragdoll logo played. However, the background was red, and there was a loud screeching sound when the logo's mouth was drawn. I cringed at the choice of the screeching sound. What the hell is going on? Just then, the same red-tinted ABC DVD logo from the Teletubbies DVD I discovered played. But when the DVD logo flew in, I heard a woman shrieking. The shriek scared the living crap out of me. It then cut to the DVD menu. I ejected the disc in disbelief. I called my mom about the DVD being messed up. I showed her the evidence and she believed me. We phoned ABC DVD and Ragdoll, and the reasons were pretty much the same as the lost episode of Teletubbies. I asked Mom what we should do with it, and she suggested to bury it. I didn't sleep for the entire week. I thought about the episode every night, and it keeps haunting me. I believe that the maker of the episode is the same man who produced those Lost to Teletubbies episodes. You should always think before you watch a lost DVD you find underground. Take my advice.